Saturday, July 6th, we got my man Shakur Stevenson back in the ring. This time, he's fighting Artem Harutyunyan. I'm trying to get his name right. I've been chopping his name up ever since I've known who this dude was. The Armenian boxer, I think, to me, to be honest, is one of these dark horse dudes in boxing. And I'll explain why. So this is going to be Shakur's first fight back since his rather, controversial, so to speak, win over Edwin De Los Santos back in November of last year. We know how that fight went. Everybody have their different takes on that fight. People say he was running the whole fight. I didn't see it the way everybody else saw it. Everybody have a different eye for boxing. Hey, it is what it is. You're not gonna always get everybody to agree and be on the same page. That's what it is. But so let's talk about the tail of the tape, man. We got Shakur Stevenson. He's at 21 wins, no losses, 10 wins by knockout, 47% knockout ratio. He stands at 5'8" with a 68-inch arm reach, and he's 27 years old. A converted southpaw, meaning Shakur Stevenson. He naturally was a orthodox fighter, and he converted to southpaw, which to me that's kind of like dangerous, because now his lead hand is his power hand that would have been his power hand is now his lead hand. So he likely has a very strong jab, but yeah. Shakur Stevenson, considered to have one of the highest IQs in boxing. It's considered to be one of the best defensive fighters right now in the sport. I don't know, a lot of people call it running. It's defense, man. That's what it is. It's defense. However you see it, that's defense, bro. And very good inside game. Good mid-range fighter. He can mix it up when he wants to. I think he has underrated power. I'm not too sure he believes in his own power, to be honest. Sometimes I feel like that sometimes about Shakur Stevenson. Like, I know if he sit down on a lot of his punches, he'd probably get a lot of more dudes out of there. But a lot of people chalk that up to the fact that he doesn't really like to get punched. He doesn't like to get hit, or touched with somebody with power. But, who wants to get hit? Nobody, But he's a very good fighter. I think he's another one that's a complete fighter, but he just hasn't unlocked the best of his abilities. It's my opinion, though. Now you got Artem Harutyunyan. He is at 12 wins, 1 loss, 7 wins by knockout. That 1 loss came at the hands of Frank Martin at 58% knockout ratio. So Frank Martin even said that this dude, he has power. Okay. So I think this is another one of them guys that he has that underrated punching power. Okay. He has decent movement in the ring. He has a crazy, his body shots is something to watch out for. Shakur got to watch out for the body work, because he was hitting Frank Martin with some good body shots, and he was feeling them shots. Okay, and he stands at 5'7" in height. Don't know what his arm reach is, but he's 33 years old, so he's a little bit older than Shakur. And as far as his height, he's a little smaller, probably a half an inch shorter than Shakur. No big deal. So last 3 fights, Frank Martin put up a very good fight against Frank Martin. He gave Frank Martin some substantial issues in that fight. He managed to hurt Frank Martin to the body a couple of times. He took the knee in the 12th when Frank Martin kind of turned it up on him. and put full court pressure on him and kind of took the knee in the 12th round, and he lost that fight. But he did very good in that fight, leading up to the knee. All right. Then he fought somebody named Humberto Galindo, and I watched some highlights from that fight. Knocked him down early on in the fight. That was some good work. He got a good 10 rounds in with that dude. I would say his performance, he did better against, to me, he looked better in there against Frank Martin. But like I said, each fight, one fight you might look good in one fight, and the next fight you might look like crap. Then the next fight you look superb again. It depends on who you fighting too. All right. Likely that Humberto dude probably had much more experience than Frank Martin as well. So, but he did pretty good against Frank Martin. He did okay against the Humberto dude. Managed to knock him down. Fight before that, he fought a guy named Samuel Molina. And in that fight against Molina, to me, he looked much more athletic. He looked more sharp, more poised than he did against the Galindo dude. The fight that was after that Molina fight. Looked more, he had more speed on him too against the Molina guy. Managed to get some good body work in that fight. Molina was a hard scrap dude that came to bring the fight. Artem knocked him out in the 5th round. So he's a dangerous fighter, nothing to say the least. He just, he has some holes in his defense, but he's a very dangerous fighter. He knocked dude out with a sneaky left that he didn't see. And he was getting worked by dude. Dude was working him. Up until that left, he hit him with his left hook and knocked him out. Very busy fighter in that ring, very active, to say the least. All right, so now let's talk about Shakur Stevenson's last 3. As we know, his last fight, Edward De Los Santos. He didn't put on the performance that many people wanted to see. Many people said he was running the entire fight. He had an injury to his arm, so he wasn't letting his left go really as much. But he managed to get some good jabs off, and he managed to keep Edwin De Los Santos at bay. Regardless of what you say, De Los Santos should have figured out a way how to cut the ring off and get to Shakur. So when I look at it that way, to me, that shows how good Shakur Stevenson's footwork and defense really is. If you can't get to this dude and cut him off, what's that say about you? That's how I kind of look at it like that. Then the next fight before that was his first fight at 135 against Shishiro Yoshino. You know how that went, knockout 6 rounds. He absolutely obliterated this dude, beat him up really bad, and he became the He became the WBC champion after the De Los Santos fight. I always thought it was Yoshino he got that belt with, but it wasn't. It was De Los Santos. Looked really sharp in there against Yoshino, very aggressive. And a lot of people like to say Shakur is not really aggressive when it comes. He's only aggressive when it comes to dudes that don't have punching power. But that dude had punching power. The dude had 17 wins with 13 knockouts. He had 76% knockout ratio. So that dude had some power. So that's telling me right there, that's a myth, man. That Shakur, and I told people this already. Everybody says Shakur was running in the Nakatia fight, and I'm like, where did he run against Jeremiah Nakatia? He was right there, and he knocked dude down in the fight. That's why I'm telling you, I think his power, he doesn't realize that he really has as much power as he thinks he does. He probably don't even believe in his own punching power. All right, but then he fought Robson Conceição. That was his last fight at 130 pounds. Put on a good show against him. Went 12 rounds. He managed to knock Conceição down with a body shot, left body shot. That was kind of like a delayed reaction body shot. But he knocked him down with a body shot. And this is what I'm trying to tell people. I think his power is definitely it's underrated, man. I'm telling you. and that was down at 130. And he ended up. I mean, the whole fight with Conceição showed me some things too. Conceição didn't want to really come in there against Shakur. Shakur was keeping him at bay, so he must got some kind of power. You know, come on. And this was the last fight at 130 for Shakur. And so he got stripped of his title because he missed weight. You know, he was complaining about the being drained. Because of the high weight cut down to 130. Then that's when he moved up to 135. So before I get into how I think this fight is gonna go, let me just run through some more of his opponents, just to see how many knockdowns or knockouts he's gotten. Okay, against Yoshino, he knocked him out. He knocked down Robson Conceição in the 4th round. He knocked down Oscar Valdez in the 6th round of his fight. He stopped Jamel Herring, knocked him down, stopped him. He knocked down Jeremiah Nakatia, a power puncher they said that he was running from. Felix Caraballo, he knocked him down. This was back in 2020 and knocked him out. Edwin De Los Santos. It's probably the only sour fight that he really had. The dude has power, man. So it's just the fact that he just don't really, he doesn't engage all the time. He fights different fights for different fighters, different style for different fighters. So how does this fight go? Well, Artem Harutyunyan, to me, he's a dangerous fighter. He's tricky, but he's a basic straight up and down fighter to me. Definitely doesn't have the skill set of a Shakur Stevenson. Shakur's gonna have to be careful of that weird overhand right he throws, those sneaky body shots, and then like maybe that sneaky check left hook. I think Shakur see all of that coming. The dude is not the fastest. Look like he telegraphs a lot of his punches. He also overthrows shots sometimes. Shakur gonna take advantage of that and counter him all night. Okay. And the dude does have some good body work, but I think you're gonna see some good action in the mid. They're gonna be right in the middle of the ring, trading good body work. I got Shakur stopping this dude to the body for some reason. I give this fight 7th round, 8th round stoppage. Shakur Stevenson. This is not Frank Martin, man. Frank Martin, while he was a good fighter, he does not have the experience of a Shakur Stevenson. He could punch, but he struggled in there with the dude. And I don't think Shakur gonna struggle much. But I think he still have things to worry about. He have to be careful of the power. Dude does have some power. Maybe he probably don't have the Edwin De Los Santos power, but he got power. He's a sneaky fighter, so you always got to be cautious of that. Okay, so, but I see Shakur seeing a lot of them shots coming from a mile away, and I think he's gonna catch him with a good left to the body, and gonna stop him probably 7th, 8th round stoppage. So my prediction for this fight is Shakur Stevenson by knockout, 8th round. This is Rebel Life Boxing. Let me know what you think. Catch y'all later on the next one, and I'm out.